Hello everyone and welcome to Game Club, and today it's tactical dice throwing in Kivi, the game where you roll and, well, basically use dice to fight each other, I think. Right, let's get her open and see what it looks like inside. Now just before I do that, just flip her over just to say box is, well, it's box standard, isn't it really? Just not trying to hide anything at all, it's just trying to get to the point, I guess. Right, here we go, and we are, et voila, probably the easiest opening I've ever done. Flip around and let's open up and see now. Just the box itself, I mean, it's pretty standard. It's not really, as I said, there's no airs and graces with it. It's just trying to be, well, simply a game. Right, let's just get this open. So it's just a little bit tricky, but we should. Et voila! Right, there we go. There's our tactical dice game instruction booklet. Then we've got a thing about the people who invented the game. Okay, and then of course we've got our board here. Our scoring tokens and our dice. And that, well, that's that. There's pretty much nothing else in there, I think it's pretty much empty. Yep, it's empty. So now join us as we are going to go ahead and play and then review Kivi. Now Kivi can easily accommodate 4 people, as we can see here. We've got all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 out and running. Just to note that there is a very interesting little note or booklet, well basically a sheet of paper, notelet thing, which tells you about the story of Kivi, which is quite fascinating because it involves Boney M. Anyone who is of a certain age will remember Boney M. And also a PE teacher from London, so always nice to see. Now the booklet, the instructions are very simple. Here you go there, 30 minutes, 2 to 4 players, 8+, and then effectively that's the page. And what you've got here is you've got to score the most points by building lines of consecutive stones, either horizontally or vertically. The player with the most points after 10 rounds wins the game. Now what effectively happens is that on the board here you have outlined particular patterns, particular score points, and as you can see here, I would recommend holding on to this because it helps a lot, because you can see that you've got particular scoring for particular patterns, etc, etc. So if you get certain sort of T's, or it goes across a particular section, or covers that purple, then, and you can probably see on the board here, then you score more points for it. What happens is on the turn, the original or the first player rolls the dice. The player may accept the roll or re-roll any number of the dice. Up to 2 re-rolls are permitted. And so effectively what you're doing is this: you go roll, and you look at that and you go, oh, that's quite good. And then what you can do, so as you can see here, if you've got 6 of a kind, which is very rare, you probably can see, I don't know if you can see that, sorry, yeah, got it there. So 2 pairs, target of the game, so 2 pairs, and it shows you there 2 separate pairs. You can put it 3 pairs, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and if you look on the board you can see there's 2 pairs up here, 3 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 2 3s of a kind, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So for instance, if you look at this here, you've got 2 of a kind, so effectively you can say, I've got 2 of a kind, I'm the green player, I'll take that. And then effectively what happens then is, then it moves on to the next player. So if the player does not, just a note, sorry, if the player does not manage to roll any of the targets, they place a stone in the game box. So in the game box goes your stone, and effectively use that. Once you're out of stones and everyone else out of stones, then, well, that's it. But the second dice, so we'll just do, so I'll show you a whole full round. So for instance, they've got 4, 3, so there you go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and so then they can roll this up to 2 times to try and get 6, and they're going to go 1, no, last one hopefully gets 6, and they get a 6, so that's 4 in a row. Now effectively, you do have on the board here 4 in a row, 4 in a row. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, which is what I'm going to put this one on. There you go, that's that done. Go to the next player, and they will roll. As you can see, they've got 2 4s in a row and 2 1s, so they've got 2 and 2. Now, obviously, just to note, you would probably be looking at trying to get some of the easier ones later on. The problem is if you leave them too open for too long, then you can get in trouble. But effectively what you're trying to do is, and now 4th player, and they're going to look at, so they 3 and 3, well, they don't have enough for 3 and 3. They've got 2 and 2, but I think what they're going to try and do is go 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2, and they're going to roll these and hopefully get a 4. Oh, they got a 2 and a 6. That's not what we want. So we want a 4, they want a 4, they want a 4. Oh, well, that's it. So effectively they got 2 and 2, so they'll take that, and they can then go put one there. And so what you're doing is you're building until you have particular patterns on the board, and you would particularly score on those. And obviously, once again, it's a good idea to keep this booklet because it obviously outlines the scoring. And then effectively, once you've run out of all your stones which are here, which is why the game takes about 30 minutes, then the game is over. There are some straightforward words I'd use for Kivi. Kivi is simple, it's straightforward, and it's fluid. All good if you like games where you can sit down and pretty much know where you're going from start to finish, and if you're not wanting to have additional mechanics that make it slightly more developed each time, i.e. very specifically altering basically the gameplay and what the expectations are every step of the way, then Kivi is ideal for you. It's a roll and capture game. You're basically rolling, placing. Sometimes you can push your luck a little bit with the rolls, but generally speaking, they say tactical, but I actually say it's pretty straightforward. It's less tactical, far more straight strategy of, I know what I want to get from the start is I can get from a broader scopes, and then I want to look for doubles and triples maybe, or straight lines, whatever. That said, Kivi is the sort of game that I think probably would work well with older people. I don't think it's going to work well with kids. I think kids will probably shun it because there's no real excitement behind it. It's far more a longer term game in the sense of it's for people who want to, say, like bridge, you can score across a couple of months, maybe even a couple of years. Kivi would work for that. The problem for me with Kivi is there's nothing new here. There's nothing exciting here. There's nothing sort of invigorating here. It reminded me, because when we played many years ago, a particular game which you guys will probably remember, and I probably don't want to mention it because I'm actually you know what, I will do. So Sagrada was about rolling and placement, but it had a level of sophistication because of the fact that you can manipulate the rolls and manipulate the placements in order to get a better result. Kivi doesn't have that. Kivi is far more a bit of luck, pushing that luck a little bit further, roll, and that's it. It is the nature of the game. It's not supposed to be more sophisticated than that, and I think that it should be respected for that, but also acknowledge that this game is not going to be for long, broad gamers. This is going to be for people who want an easy game that they can feel that when they come out of it they've won, or they've beaten somebody, or they've got something, but they don't have massive objectives to look forward to, or look in the far distance for. So that's Kivi. I'm Simon, and this is Game Club, and thank you again for watching.